If wavy ain't wavy, what is he? I keep it chopping the glizzy. Keep it a stack, no kizzy. Don't hit me up, I'm busy. I want the chop like a mellow. Popping the kitty, hello. Turning your brain to jello. Mexican plug Ernesto. If wavy ain't wavy, what is he? I keep it chopping the glizzy.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Front Office Podcast, and I'm joined here with my wonderful co-host, Otto Neb. Say what's up.
Oh, yeah. How y'all feeling?
Chilling, cooling, vibing. You know the deal. I love how I answered, even though you weren't talking to me. But who else was going to answer, right? But as per usual, I know NBA season started today. We might dibble dabble a little bit in that. I usually bet NBA, to be honest, more than Neb, but we'll probably focus on NBA is a little confusing because there's games like every day up from now until like the in-season tournament, and then from the in-season tournament to like All-Star break. So it's just there's a lot more games there, so it'll be harder for us to cover that. But NFL, we both understand, we both get, and we had a little bit of an up and down Week 7 slate. Start off on Thursday night with the Broncos and Saints. Nothing too crazy there, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if it's Rattlers playing bad. I mean, to his credit, Olave was hurt. Rashid got hurt in that game. I think their left tackle's hurt. That team's a little bit of a mess, and they're $81 negative in cap space. So I don't know if that really Bo Nix didn't throw for a touchdown, so that he's pretty mid as usual. So Javonte Williams scored 2 touchdowns. So fantasy users are probably hyped. But I mean, what do you got for this game?
In this game, Thursday night, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was very boring. I'm also big into baseball. That game was great. 'Cause, we had the Cleveland Guardians go crazy. But other than that, it was pretty boring. I mean, what I took away from it, the Broncos defense looked great. Granted, I don't know if they just played the New Orleans Saints very banged up or if they're that good. They've been on a good stretch lately, and I'm pretty excited to see what they keep doing. But in my opinion, it was pretty lackluster of a game. Feel bad for Spencer Rattler, coming in into a very interesting situation. So it sucks, but oh well. You got all the punches in the hand you dealt with, but maybe Dennis Allen will be fired. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I personally like Dennis Allen as a head coach. I think I like him better as a coordinator, though. Not gonna lie. And it's gotten to that point where I think in order for this team to continue to succeed, because they really haven't had success since Drew Brees left. I don't think they've made the playoffs since Drew Brees or Sean Payton have left. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they need to. I don't think Derek Carr's actually the issue. I mean, we saw he dropped 50 in 2 games back to back. Even though one of them was the Panthers, one of them was the Cowboys, who might. I don't think they will, but might make the playoffs. But still, even then, I don't think Derek Carr's the issue. I just think that that line is a disaster. On top of that, they've kind of been running the same defense for a little bit now, and I think at a certain point you might need to move some pieces around and invest. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore's getting up there in age. I think he's like 28, 29 now. Not that he's not a good corner. I still think that, the Honey Badger's still a pretty good piece. Cameron Jordan's still a good piece. They have pieces on this defense. It's really just, I'm not going to lie, just the offense. The offensive line's an issue. It's a mess. Outside of Olave, Rashid Shaheed's just a deep threat. But moving forward, I think they just need to either get a new coach and someone who's going to put some, maybe it's Kubiak. You might have to elevate Kubiak, but, we'll just have to see. Moving on.
Be honest with you, it's been rough. All the pieces you named are getting old. That's the main thing. Everyone's getting old. Marshawn Lattimore's getting old. Cameron Jordan's getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had Paulson Debo, but that man got in a bad injury that game.
Yeah.
And we don't know how long he's going to be out for. It's just a lot, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's rough. They're very banged up because we're in the season. The O-line was nice. The O-line made separation for Alvin Kamara. Speaking of Kamara, got an extension today. I don't know if you saw
2
that.
2 years, 26, 22 guaranteed. I don't know how they managed to do it, but it freed up 18 mil, the 81 that I was talking about.
They're always in cap, though. That's what it is.
Hey, that's what happens when you give Taysom Hill $100 million. That's just me, though.
I know. But yeah, it's just a lot. Like you said, they just got to, same defense. Also, Chase Young's really bad this year.
I don't know if it's him, like I said, him or the scheme that he's been put in. I feel like free agents, and we'll talk more about this moving forward, but I think free agents need to really understand the situation that they're going to before they go to that situation. Like, for example, Bryce Huff on my Eagles. Bryce Huff could have done his research on Fangio, okay, Fangio likes his outside edge rushers to be in this type of stance. He has them. Brandon Graham, I saw him playing in a flat zone the other week. Mind you, Brandon Graham is only really back because he's playing for the Eagles. He's been here for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't him, maybe let's say he's 8 years in. Why would he go to a team that's going to have him playing in a flat zone when his best ability is to rush the passer? So if I'm Bryce Huff or if I'm Chase Young, if I know that I'm not either A, being correctly used, or it's not going to be the best fit, why am I going to it? Why am I going to this team? Get it, 14 mil guaranteed is a lot of money for somebody, you know, who coming off an injury, right? I think he got hurt last year with the 49ers, or even if he didn't, it wasn't the best year because I only had like 2 sacks in the playoffs. So with that being said, I don't think that he made the right decision going to New Orleans, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, though, moving forward, I don't really have much to say about the Patriots and the Jaguars. Jaguars squeaked out a win. I mean, this was a gimme win. They needed to win this if Doug Peterson wanted to keep his job for a little longer. Drake May, and I'll say this for what it's worth, is in my opinion, out of the 2 games that I've seen from him, if you swap Drake May and Jaden Daniels, I think the Commanders still have the same type of season they're having right now. I don't think Drake May is a bad quarterback like the record is showing. Like, 1-6 doesn't mean that he's bad. I think Drake May is a pretty exceptional rookie. And that's saying that Bo Nix is in this class, and so is Rattler. I think behind Jaden Daniels, he's the second best rookie quarterback. Obviously, it's only been 2 games, but if the Patriots had any type of line help, if Ramondre Stevenson could get more than 3 yards every carry, why does Antonio Gibson still have a job? Jalen Polk is posting peace marks on Instagram after not catching passes. Demario Douglas he's solid. I'm not gonna lie, he's cool. I like Douglas. Hunter Henry's always been solid. He's cool. I like Hunter Henry. But like, bro, they're 22nd right now in stopping the run as a defense. They were number 1 last year. I actually saw that on the McAfee show with Belichick. So it's like, if it was a better team, Gerard Mayo shouldn't be calling his players after the game like that. Moving forward, I mean, what do you got to say?
I mean, to be honest with you, bro. I mean, honest, I don't think he's better than Caleb.
I want to see more from Caleb because Caleb's been beating up on teams that are pretty weak right now. So I need to see him beat somebody more than the injury riddled Rams and the non-existent franchise in the Panthers right now. That's just me though.
No, you're fair. I mean, Drake May played great. He played Houston last week. Played 2 weeks ago. Played Jaguars this past weekend. And I mean, he was 26-37, right? He had 276 touchdowns.
I think he ran for great. Maybe that's preseason I'm thinking about. I thought he ran for. He didn't run for 1. You're right.
But he has 2 touchdowns. So like, that's a really good game. For sure. I think he has promise. He's shown a lot of promise. Like, I think obviously you couldn't have him sit behind Jacoby Brissett forever.
They should have started him at the beginning of the season. They should have started him. I don't know what they were doing.
For sure. I mean, maybe it could have been. Maybe it's a tankier. Maybe they're looking to get a key franchise player in this year's draft coming up. That could be a thing. But I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's very. He has a lot of promise. I think. Now I don't know if he's Jane Daniels level. I think Jane Daniels has more elusiveness in the pocket that allows the Commanders to make such great plays and extend plays. That's why I think Jane will be better. I don't know if he'll be all the way up there, but I think, in my opinion, he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he has a lot of promise to show if he start coaching. I think he'll be great. I know the rumblings in New York. I mean, I read an article saying that New England's got some belief that Gerard Mayo will be fired this year.
He won't. I mean, you can't, as a franchise with that much history. If Robert Kraft, I think they've only had 3 or 4 head coaches in their entire existence as a franchise, and after coming off of Bill Belichick, firing someone who you just said on a podcast that you picked him as the successor 6 years before Belichick even resigned or fired, whatever that happened this offseason. But my whole point is they won't do it. I know them; they're not going to do that. But my whole point is, I think that Drake May, behind Caleb, has the most potential. I think Jaden's having the best season right now, but Caleb, in my opinion, has the best. Caleb is the one that's how do I say it? He has the Hall of Fame potential, in my opinion. If he puts everything together, from what I saw in his Heisman's at Oklahoma, right? Heisman from Oklahoma.
Yes.
His USC year, even though they didn't really go that well, he still showed really strong flashes. If he continues that, he's probably gonna be the best quarterback out of that class. I think though Drake May is gonna be second behind that for me because I think Jaden at a certain point, that Cliff Kingsbury offense you saw with Kyler for a little bit when they went to the playoffs, right? I'm pretty sure they went to the
Yeah.
playoffs and they got bounced first round because at a certain point it just doesn't work anymore. Like it's cool, it's gonna get you something, especially because Kyler and Jaden are almost that kind of same build. Jaden's a little taller, but I mean, look at the teams; they're low key similar. Like you got a good running back in Brian Robinson, James Conner. You got a pretty strong receiver. They had D Hop back then. They have Terry now. Decent tight end. I think they had Zach Ertz back then. Who they have? They have what's his face in Washington right now? Zach Ertz again. Actually, that's actually funny. But you see what I'm saying? But like, it will get them. Like they will beat the Giants like that. They will beat who they beat. They beat somebody this week. The Panthers, 40-7. It might not work against the Eagles. It might not work against. It didn't work against the Ravens. It was a good effort.
Yeah.
But it didn't work against a good team.
It was a good measuring stick game. Lets you know that the Commanders aren't the Ravens level, but they're trending in the right direction.
I will say that, and I think Jaden has the potential to still be really, really good. All I'm saying though is that at a certain point, it's the same thing that we saw from Lamar, that he's gonna need to develop more as a pocket passer, and that's one thing that I don't think people credit Lamar to doing, because they say, oh, he didn't, like they were talking about, oh, he didn't rush that much last year. Now he lost weight. He's about to start running the ball a little more, and I'm like, that's because y'all bullied him into thinking that he needs to just stand in the pocket. You would see him a lot last year just standing when he could have gained 15 yards on the ground. So my problem with a lot of these like dual threat quarterbacks is don't tell them not to run. Tell them or instruct them on when to run, so that they know that they're not evading. Like Kyler Murray the other day had a wide open Marvin Harrison Jr. Instead, he scrambled and got a first down. So yeah, you could have had the big play, but you played it safe, you got the first down. So in instances like that, that's where I say, okay, cool. Like I need Jaden to develop that. If not, he's just gonna be another like RG3. RG3 didn't develop that. Where is he now? Hurt, no ACL.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. But you got anything else on the Jaguars Patriots?
How much longer do you think until Doug Peterson's fired, man?
I want to look at their schedule real quick. They play. Let's see this, and that's just me looking at, who they got next. So they got the Packers.
Loss.
They got the Packers.
Loss.
Then they got the Eagles.
Loss.
Vikings.
Loss.
Lions. Texans.
Loss.
Titans.
Win.
Jets.
Loss.
Raiders, Titans, Colts, and I think they can win at least 2 out of 3. At that point, it doesn't even matter. Like he'll
get fired by the Lions game.
So because the Lions game is it's their bye week. They're 2-5 right now. Yeah, 2-5, right? Packers, Eagles, Vikings, Giants. That's 4 games for their bye week. If they're not 2-5 right now, we've got 4 games left. If they're not at least 4-7, 4-7 or like 5-6. He's getting fired. Yeah, I promise you.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Lions, they're gonna drop some games to those teams. They're gonna need him fired by that.
He needs to beat the Packers, Eagles, or Vikings. I don't think he's gonna beat the Lions no matter what. I think the Packers are a very beatable team because Jordan Love has turned into Brett Favre 2.0 and is just slinging it. Yeah. The Eagles disappoint. I'm an Eagles fan. They'll disappoint me, and they might just decide not to show up. And the Vikings kind of look shaky because Aaron Jones wasn't really having the best. Did he score? I don't know if he scored or not. He did score, but he hasn't been really having the best start to the season. So again, in my opinion, if he doesn't win 3 out of those 4, he's gone. If he wins 2, he ends up at what? 4-7. And in the AFC this year, I'm not sure if they're making the playoffs with a 4-7 record at that rate. Because then they come back and they play the Texans. I mean, they do have an easy schedule after their bye, and I think they could go on a run, maybe beat the Titans, Jets, Raiders, Titans, and Colts. But 8-9 is not going to get you into the playoffs this year.
No, I mean they're already not going to win their division, so they're at a loss already.
Yeah, I don't think I think the Broncos probably can sneak a wild card spot this year. To be honest, the way they're playing, and they probably have a
the defense holds up.
Yeah, they probably get a wild card spot. The Jets can pick it. I believe in the Jets more to pick it up. The Dolphins might start turning things around with Tua coming back this week. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, I think it's cooked for the Jags. I'm not gonna cap. And Doug Peterson's probably getting, like I said, bye week. That's his deadline. Mm-hmm. Next game, Falcons, Seahawks. I don't really have much to say about this game. It was a good showing from the Seahawks. I think DK got hurt at one point, but Jackson Smith and Jigba threw him a little 40-yard deep pass. That was cool to see. Falcons, I'm not too worried about them. They're 4-3, and with all due respect to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, but because they got hurt, I think the Falcons, because they did it a couple weeks ago, it's not going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be the Falcons actually beating up on the Bucks when they play them in a couple weeks again. They got the Panthers and the Saints again. This isn't going to be a really hard division to win this year. I still think the Bucks are a threat in that division. That's what I'm getting out of this game, is that how the Falcons don't need to beat themselves up over this game. But it's a good win for the Seahawks. I mean, who's in the 49ers? I think they can win the division. Debo just got hurt. Or Debo's in the hospital.
Yeah, Debo, he got released, but pneumonia like symptoms.
Yeah, he had fluid in his lungs or something, and then Ayuk tore his ACL.
CMC week 11, maybe. Who knows?
I don't think CMC's coming back this year, bro.
I don't either, but reports saying like possible week 11 return. Week 10,
Maybe,
11.
but Mason's still a good running. It's not about their weapons. Purdy's been playing kind of bad this year too, holding on to the ball a little bit. Again, I think both of these teams might be able to win a division, but I think both of these teams do make the playoffs. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, because that NFC North is kind of looking scary right now with the Packers and Vikings and Bears and Lions. I think they're all gonna make the playoffs. To be honest,
Possibility that they could, yeah.
And if they all make the playoffs, that's a wild card spot that the Seahawks might not have if they don't win that division. Same thing with the Falcons. So, 4-3 right now. The Packers are 5-2. The NFC's looking scary this year. I've been telling people the NFC's better than the AFC, but that's just me. But anything you got to say about this?
Yeah, man. Unfortunate. Atlanta was going. I didn't win as favorites. Only thing I'm really looking at, if I'm a Falcons fan or if I'm a Falcons coach or whatever, is going to be that pass rush. That pass rush is non-existent. Like, Seattle's has had one of the worst O-line all year, and they gave Geno Smith so much time in this past game. Like, that D-line and pass rush, no type of urgency against the quarterback. I mean, do you even remember that Matt Judon is playing on the Falcons right now? Like, you wouldn't know.
And he wanted a bag. He wanted a bag this past year.
He did, and it's nothing going on right now. It's kind of frustrating, honestly. It's annoying because, you come in and revamp team with fresh offense, and on paper, which should seem like a great pass rush for the Atlanta Falcons, but it's just not getting there. And it's kind of tough. Again, it's not great for Atlanta, but obviously, going into a really weak division, especially with the Bucks getting weaker by losing Mike Evans, which will be out for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Godwin, he's getting surgery coming up soon, and it looks like a season-ending injury.
Yeah, and they played the Bucks. They played the Bucks Sunday. Actually, I thought it was a little deeper.
Yeah,
they played the Bucks Sunday. I think they win that game. And then they got the Cowboys after that. That's a very winnable game, too. Saints, Broncos. Like, if they play their cards right, they can go 4-0. Maybe they lose to the Broncos because, the Broncos are a little weird this year. I really can't. I don't want to bet against them.
They're
but also,
frisky. Fun, frisky team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they have a bye. So you could walk into the bye 8-3. And then you play the Chargers.
Yeah, if they sweep the Bucks, it's going to be hard for the Bucks to come back and try to win something.
Yeah.
Win the division, I should say. As it looks right now, the Saints are in contention. The Panthers are a group of 5 team. That's a group of 5 team. That's what they are. Not like they should be penning upside as Boise State, man. It's rough out there.
They beat somebody. Who did they beat?
The Raiders.
That's Raiders. I had hope for them too at some point, but
all right. But yeah, rough. It's rough right now for them. Good luck not over AFC side, but Atlanta. Come back for sure, but I think we got to worry about some kind of fix.
Yeah. Next game, Texans-Packers. I caught a little bit of this game partly because I have Tank Dell in fantasy. I'm not going to lie. Him having 0 points kind of blew me, but Joe Mixon had another great day. 2 touchdowns, 115 on the ground. It was a weird game because I actually, I'm looking at the stats right now, but before looking at it, CJ Stroud had 86 yards. What's going on? I'm usually used to, maybe $2.30 from CJ Stroud. And then you look at the other side, Love had $2.20, 3 touchdowns. He did throw 2 picks, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, they were eating Romeo Dub. The Packers received, I saw a TikTok or it was a tweet or something. It was Jordan Love picks his number 1 receiver the day of the game. One day it's Jaden Reed, one day it's Romeo Doubs, one day it's Christian Watson. Hey, one day it might be Tucker Kraft. You never know. But even Josh Jacobs caught his first rushing touchdown. That's the first receiving touchdown of his career that he had.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie. And then for them to squeak out of there with the field goal, you know how the Packers have had luck with their kickers the past couple years.
They
I'm not gonna lie.
signed Brandon McManus off the
Yeah,
street.
I remember because I had the previous guy. He got cut him off my fantasy
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. I mean, for us to watch this game, the Texans O line is bad.
4 sacks.
It is so bad. Like, wow. Like, really watching that, like, damn, like CJ, no type of time. And also, they're doing a thing where Minnesota Vikings did to the Texans, and they went ahead and just threw different plays at him.
Yeah,
The Texans O line has weakness has been like stunt blocking, like stunt rushes from the defensive line.
yeah,
For some reason, no communication from the O line, so you always have that one rush coming free.
yeah,
And CJ Stroud, who's usually great on third downs, had a rough time converting third downs. It was really bad. I think this is the second worst game of his career.
yeah,
That was rough. You know, I'm a big fan of CJ, and I love the way CJ Stroud plays. Man, it was rough. It was really bad. I mean, the run game was working for a little bit. And also, you know, it allowed them to open the playbook, but then again, just the O-line kept going back to being bad. Honestly, it was really rough. And this kind of showed that the Texans' offense is great, but losing Nico Collins was such a big deal because look at this. I mean, like, Tank Dell didn't get many. I don't think he touched it. He had
zero.
one.
No, he had targets.
He had
Just
one.
no catches.
Yeah, and I'm saying he had one target that was because it got overturned.
Oh, with the flag. Yeah, you're right.
And it was very much a rough game for the Texans. Man, I mean, that might be something to look into. If I'm Nick Casario, if I'm Nick Casario, I'm gonna be on the phones looking for some old lineman trades, man.
Not even that. I think the Packers also need to. I don't know if it's gonna become an issue, but it might work because the Texans, for what it's worth, aren't really the best. At least maybe that day they weren't the best, but their defense is kind of sus. Like, it has its days, and as a part-time Texans fan, you understand that full and well.
Personally,
But if Jordan Love doesn't fix his interception issue or turnover problem, it's going to cost him, because in the games that he's played this year that I've seen, his 2 losses came to the Eagles, and I forget where the other one came from, or the Packers might have lost without him.
No, it wasn't Rams.
I don't know who. I can check, but my point
No,
would be,
I
don't think Malik lost.
Malik was undefeated.
That's what I'm saying. So they lost to the Vikings. Oh no, he played that game. I remember they were down like OD, and then he threw 3 picks in that game.
Yeah,
He threw 3 picks in that game. That's my whole kill. So my
the
whole
next 3 field goals soon. Yeah.
So my whole point is, that's 5 interceptions in 2 games. Granted, he's having probably he's top 5 passing yards and probably top 5 passing touchdowns.
He leads the league in touchdown interceptions.
Yeah, but my whole point
Such
is,
a Jameis Winston stat.
oh god, 30 for 30. He threw a pick to end the Eagles game when they had prime position. I was watching that game. They could have, before that interception, they could have drove, got a little field goal or touchdown, whatever, tie the game up or whatever. But because he threw an interception, sealed the game. It didn't come to bite them this time, but he's going to throw a turnover that's going to cost them a game in the future, and especially when they have to go and play the Vikings, Lions, and Bears at least one more time, if not twice. I don't know the schedule by the top of my head, but they're gonna, if he continues to do that, the Lions will make him pay. Jared Goff will not throw an intercept or an incompletion. They will go down, drive down. They're not stopping Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery, and guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna either run the clock out, score a field goal, touchdown, whatever, end the game. So my whole point being is, he's gonna need to tune that down, have a conversation, do whatever it needs to be. But I get I had this problem with Carson Wentz back in the day. I get trying to force a play, especially when Carson Wentz had no receivers. I'm like, okay, I get it. You have to throw to Travis Fulgham. Okay, I get it. But bro, you have Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson's a valid receiver, Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Jaden Reed. These are 4 possibly number 1/number 2-esque receivers that could be on other teams. You're fine, bro. Relax. You don't need to force it, which is what I'm struggling with. Their O-line's not terrible either. It's pretty decent. It's not great, but it's decent. He needs to chill out. I'm not gonna lie. He just needs to chill out with that bull. That's all I gotta say about that game for me.
I mean, yeah, you were saying Texas defense was a little sus. I will say they got a lot of injuries on the defensive front. They're down their top. Well, I mean, honestly, they're playing with Henry To'oTo'o, who was their second street backup. Christian Harrison's been on IR the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
They were down. What's it called? Another linebacker. They were down. Jimmy Ward. They were down a lot. The fact that you had Eric Murray really back there playing safety.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's rough. Their defense, I will say, for what they were going through, injury wise,
Mm-hmm.
again being down 2 linebackers, being down a couple DBs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. That's real rough. But they still were able to manage and keep up. I mean, like Kamari Lassiter is also out. What's it called? So they were really going through it. But I mean, let other people step up, like Will Levis. I mean, I said Will Levis. Will Anderson's having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Hunter, still cooking. Shit. Caleb Bullock from USC, the rookie. He's having a
Yeah.
good year. So I mean, like it's promise for that defense. Again, the defense has stepped up in past weeks, this week especially. But yeah, I really think if the defense had the same type of thing they had, and that O line held up, I think they should have won that game.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the next steps are for you guys, but if Nick Cassier's hop on the phones and make some calls, man, I don't
And
know
O
what it
line
is.
trades because Lane Tunsil, like the same Lane Tunsil he once was.
It might not even be a trade at this point. You might just need to sign somebody off the street. DJ Humphries, solid left tackles on the street. I mean, he did tear an ACL. Cody Ford.
Uh, that shows you something on there, man. That shows you something on there. My bad.
But Eagles Giants is up next. I watched the whole game. Only thing I need to say about this game, so here's the thing, right? I don't know why people call for Nick Sirianni's job. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get that the offense. I don't know if he's taking credit for some of the miscues just because he's the head coach, or if he's actually the one calling the play sometimes. No matter the case is, the fourth. I don't know if you watched the Eagles game, but the 4th and 3 play, we threw a streak to AJ Brown. If he drops that pass, if Jalen Hurts doesn't throw a good ball, if something happens, who's the blame going to be on? Sirianni
Yeah, or your offense coordinator.
or Kellen Moore? But no, it's going to be on Sirianni because Kellen Moore doesn't draw streaks. I'm not gonna lie, it's going to be Sirianni. And even if it isn't Sirianni, like it's Sirianni's job to go for it, right? So you forget even like what play was called. Just the fact of going for a 4th and 3. Me personally, as the smartest, I think they were past the 50, but they're like at the 40-yard line, so they can't kick a field goal. That's a good decision to make, in my opinion. Same thing back in the Falcons game, going for it on 4th and 2 from their like 5-yard line or whatever. Oh no, was it 3rd down or 4th down? I forget. It was 3rd down. Saquon drops the ball.
It's Atlanta, yeah.
But whose fault was it? Sirianni. Again, if AJ Brown drops that ball, everyone's looking at Sirianni. What are you guys calling? I can already hear Jim Nantz on the call. What is he doing? Patrick Mahomes wouldn't do that. Like I already know these people. Like I already know.
That's Tony Romo, bro. That's Tony Romo.
Oh my bad. But you see what I'm saying though? Like I hate how the media, and I guess we're part of that in a sense, like our jobs. But I hate how the media tries to turn every decision as a bad decision. Because if you're, for example, we play 2K all the time. If I make the wrong pass and I make a turnover, it's on me. But no one's like, oh yeah, get rid of Thomas. Like Thomas can't be point guard anymore. Like that's not how it works. Like especially in the game of football, I think that it's a lot harder to mask your mistakes because again, the game stops. In basketball, you turn turnover, they score, you get back down, you can make up for it. In football, especially as a coach, it's a little harder. That's why I mentioned that 4th and 3 when AJ caught the little streak from Jalen. I also want to say we didn't score in the first 2 drives. That's gotta stop. Like especially because the Giants came out 4th and out. Now we get the ball at half, and we have a chance to score first. You have to maximize. That's the whole purpose of getting the ball second, is so that you can get a stop, come back, score, and if they score, doesn't matter. If you don't score anymore after that and they score again, guess what? You get ball at half. You can be down a possession. That's the whole point. So you can come back. And again, I love Sirianni this year the most because it's really showing us him as a coach. Not saying he's going to go and win the Super Bowl this year, but if he makes the playoffs, if he makes it to at least 2nd or 3rd round, you can't fire him. In my opinion, you can't. Because he's shown that he can make adjustments, at least this year. And you just beat a team 28-3 that was just giving the Bengals fits the week before. And we played the Bengals this week. What does that say for us? And I'm not saying that we're an amazing team, whatever, because we still got to beat the Commanders. We still got not a tough schedule, but it's a tough enough. We played Baltimore, we played Dallas. Like, we need to lock in and make the playoffs. Do I think we win the division? Yes. But at the same time, this game really showed what the potential could be. It was 28-3. We really could have made it like 40-3. He pulled the stars out in the 3rd quarter. That's just me though. But what about you?
Fair. I think Sirianni. is an interesting head coach. I think that it's hard to say, given what people are calling for his job. I mean, people I think still have the taste of last year in their mouth, right? And also blowing that Atlanta Falcons game. Like you have some really bad losses the last 2 years, if you want to really think about it. Granted, I mean, this game was much better. Granted, what's it called? Jalen Hurts looked better. Y'all are healing up. Y'all were, I'm gonna be fair for this year. I'll say y'all literally went through some injuries, like your two losses, coming from Atlanta and the Bucks. The Bucks are always going through it
Yeah.
because y'all was just really injured. And like everyone's coming back. I know my lot of on IR,
A
unfortunately.
lot is on IR. Devontae and AJ were out last game. Like,
Yeah, like
who else?
y'all are getting healthy. Like when everybody gets fully healthy, I think y'all be good enough to get a run.
Yeah.
Granted, I do think those Sirianni shits, like people, I feel like people calling for a job is a reasonable thing because how last year ended. You came with such a solid, talented team and dropped so many games in a row, and then losing to the Bucks in that manner, especially on the defensive side. No, both sides, because even offense was just so hard to make adjustments for y'all.
No, I get it.
That's
And
just
I get it. And like, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be on the hot seat. Hot seat and asking him to be fired mid-season like Salah is a completely different thing. And I'm not gonna call people out from like ESPN or whatever, but like I've heard people like on like popular talk shows be like, "Oh, yeah, he needs to be fired. Like he needs to be gone." Like especially, and I've heard people defend him too. Like especially, I think Damian Woody was like, if he catches that ball, no one's saying anything. If anyone, everyone's praising him for that small. It's a smart play call. If he gets a touchdown, no one's saying anything.
I'm not mad at the play call at all. It's a good play call. It's catching him off guard.
Great play call. But my whole thing is like, be fair, because if Nick Sirianni deserves to get fired, I can name Mike McCarthy, Doug Peterson. Salah was on that list. I don't think he deserves to go just yet, but like, okay, Salah, in my opinion, Mike McDaniel down in Miami's not getting enough hot. Like his seat should be pretty warm right now because no matter if Tua got hurt, you still have A-Chain. You still have.
And after this Monday, Todd Bowles.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But what's it called? You see what either way though, Sirianni's 4-2. I think that he needs to do a lot to mess the rest of the season up. That team is special, and you know what? Let's just keep it pushing. Let's see how it goes.
But then the fans did that win. Week, I want to say. Was it?
What week?
When he yelled at the fans. That was bad luck.
I'm not gonna lie, but I like that. That's just me though. Like I like it when my coach is doing figuratively like I'm playing, but I don't hate that he did that. I think it looked bad because we were only up one score against Cleveland. If it was like this, 28-3, cool. Talk. Like I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I also want him to okay. Again, to your point, if Sirianni does that and he's beating Baltimore, he's beating Dallas, he's whatever. Like he used to do this back when we went to the Super Bowl. He was talking mad like a lot to people back then. He was actually like he would go to the press conferences. And do you remember his first press conference when he got hired? I don't know if you remember. He looked like he was drunk. But like here's my point though. You hired him because he's a really good he was hired for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He's not dumb. People don't just get hired as coaches because they're dumb. He was hired, and then he brought in Shane Steichen. He brought in what's his face from Arizona?
Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, Jonathan Gannon. He brought in these people, but he was hired first for a reason. He has to know what he's doing to a certain extent. He's not clueless out there. But that's my whole point with that. We got to keep it pushing though. I'm gonna skip Dolphins and Colts. I'm not gonna lie. 2 points.
Uninspired, Dolphs suck. Anthony Richardson's experiment that might have gone wrong.
Richardson needs some polishing. I'm not gonna lie. There's potential. Last year he was doing some really nice stuff with it. I don't know if it's Steichen. I don't know if it's whatever, but got to get that fixed again. And Dolphins. Tua's coming back. Hopefully he doesn't.
Tim Boyle should never play football ever again.
Tua.
Tim Boyle.
Oh, Tim Boyle. Yeah.
4th and 4 for the game, and he threw out of bounds.
Yeah, I have better college stats than him. In intramural. Moving on, Lions Vikings. That's a really good game. I really don't have much to say about it. Those two are probably fighting for that division. The Lions just got one. They still have the same record, but they play again one more time. That'll probably be for the division at that point. If I don't know, the Vikings don't lose a goofy game somewhere else. But what do you have to say about that game? I think it was a pretty good game. Demo
great
getting hurt.
Game.
Sorry, Demo getting hurt. that might be something to look at. But I think he should be good
He
for this week.
came back in the game. He came back and played.
He did, but he wasn't. He was on like a limited snap count. He wasn't like Jameer Gibbs.
For sure.
Jameer Gibbs had like 2 touchdowns.
I mean, them two calling themselves Sonic and Knuckles is pretty cool.
Pretty accurate too.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Yeah, for sure. If you had to say, I'd probably say Demir is Sonic and Demo is Knuckles.
Yeah.
I don't know if they elaborated. I'm saying that's
Oh, no,
right.
they did.
Oh, bad. Okay. But no, yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed like their play style. Jared motherfucking Goff, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell? That man is a dog. Like playing probably the best football of his career.
I've been saying this since he was in LA, like, or even St. Louis. I think he played in St. Louis for like a year before he went to LA. But yo, he's never been a bad quarterback, like ever. Like when they traded him, I was so pissed because I'm like, what are y'all giving away picks and Goff to get Stafford? Again, they want
them picks, bro.
They want a ring, cool. But like, do you see the position that the Rams are in? They could have kept their first round picks. They could have kept Goff and built around him. But now you're like, you won.
Because now they're trying to trade Cup and Stafford apparently.
You see what I'm saying? Was it worth it? You could have kept Cup.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I mean, I think they gave the extra pick because the Lions were gonna pay for his big contract.
Yeah, and they gave him an extension last year, like this offseason too. So
but I'm saying I remember the year after the Super Bowl. Remember when the Rams won the Super Bowl?
They gave him and Carson Wentz both got like 4-year, $150 million deals. I remember.
Yeah, big contracts, and then they were like, "Oh shoot!" Like I think the Rams had buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
and wanted to get rid of him. Again, crazy. But dude, the Lions are fun. The Lions are so fun. I love watching them. Yeah. The Vikings are fun as well. Like those teams are fun.
Sam Darnold is pretty good. Pretty good.
Right, and I heard that Minnesota's trying to trade for Stafford. I hope they don't.
Oh god, that would be so goofy.
Yeah, because let Sam Darnold keep rocking, bro. Like he is genuine cooking.
I think he's leading the league right now in like completion percentage.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, but all I know is it's fun. I enjoy watching them play. When they play around, later this year, when they play again, I want to watch that for sure. Because, bro, that team, both those teams are so fun to watch.
Yeah,
man. Look, if my team's in the Super Bowl, man, I want Detroit to go all the way.
Yeah, me too. As long as the Eagles, but I mean they won't make it there because the Eagles will beat them probably in the conference championship. Anyways, Titans Bills. I have nothing to say about it. Go Bills. Bills Mafia.
Amari Cooper, man. Amari Cooper. What
did y'all expect? I'm not gonna lie. Like, moving on. Bengals Browns. This is a game that I actually want to talk about because we're running out of time. But Bengals Browns. Only thing that we're gonna talk about is the Deshaun Watson thing because I've seen a lot about it in social media. I'm not here to comment on whether he did what he did, if the settlement cases, whatever, like how he is as a person. As far as I know, like he's like, not that he's innocent, but like as far as I know, there's a reason why he's not in bars, and there's a reason why he's playing the game, and there's a reason why whatever. No matter if you want to say he paid, if you want to whatever, like I can't speak on that because I'm not part of that situation. But what I will say is, for a man to rupture, not even tear. Like, I thought he tore it. No, not to tear. He ruptured. Like, if I ask my little digital assistant what rupture means, it'll tell you to completely implode inside your leg. He ruptured his Achilles. And you start cheering? What? Like, in my opinion, like, in my 21 years of life and I'll be honest, like 16 years of like actually like being like attentive to basketball, football, sports in general, that is the most disgraceful thing, most disrespectful thing. And if I'm Deshaun Watson, whether his word or his value is there or not, I'm requesting a trade. I'm getting the hell up out of Cleveland. Now, in my opinion, I don't think Deshaun Watson is like, I'm watching some of the things that's going on in Cleveland. Receiver Amari Cooper was one of the worst receivers. Amari Cooper led the league in drops before he got traded. I want to let y'all know that he is not, or not that he isn't, but I don't know if he was bullshitting. I don't know if sorry for my language, but I don't know if he was playing around. I don't know if he was just like checking out. Amari Cooper led the league in drops before he got traded. Not only that, the offense, it's a Stefanski / Shanahan offense, but it was just kind of being weird. And granted, Nick Chubb's not there, so they're not. Who's scared of Jerome Ford? Nobody's scared of Jerome Ford.
Deontay Foreman.
Bro, nobody's scared of these people. Nobody. Njoku, like a lot. And the thing is, like, I get it. They have Elijah Moore. They have Jerry Jeudy. They have Amari Cooper. At a certain point, that O-line wasn't blocking. At a certain point, Deshaun Watson like the play calls were kind of blowing my mind. I'm watching a play action bootleg, and then the receiver is running a streak on a play action boot. Like, why am I turning around? There's already somebody in front of me, and now I have to check it deep to see if Amari Cooper's open. I'm throwing it. That's not how football works. If you see come off a play action bootleg, Neb, what's the first thing you see? Flat route. That's you check your check down. Your tight end usually coming around. Someone's running a crossing route. Like, that's how football works. Even if the defense knows it's coming, bro, that's the whole point. You play against it. You play within the offense. But to a certain degree, he should be traded. He has a fully guaranteed contract, bro. He's getting paid.
No one taking him for that contract, though, bro.
I mean, the Browns are gonna have to pay that. They know that. They sign up for it. But I'm Deshaun. You're paying it. Let me get the hell up out of here. Because, do me a favor. Play Jameis rest of the season. I was calling for Jameis.
I think they say he's starting. Yeah.
Play Jameis. But at the end of the day, bro, that was very, very disgraceful from Cleveland fans, especially after what LeBron gave y'all the ring. I'm not saying LeBron's is whatever, but LeBron even tweeted out saying that was kind of wild. For LeBron to say something, I don't know. That's just me, though.
I mean, no, you're right. That's unfortunate. You never do for injuries. You feel me? Again, whatever Deshaun did off the field, I wasn't there. That can't really be something I speak on. You feel?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, that's unfortunate. That's rough.
Yeah.
A part of me definitely thinks Deshaun should have been benched.
Yeah.
And a part of me thinks that also maybe just ownership, Jimmy Haslam and all of them are saying, I'm paying him all this guaranteed money for sure. He's going to play. So I think it kind of puts Kevin Stefanski in the box. I think Kevin Stefanski is a great head coach. I think he's a great coach. I think he's a great coach, but he's coaching with his hands tied.
I mean, if he's a great coach, in my opinion,
look at the Cowboys.
They wouldn't let go of Baker. That's just me, though.
You're 100% correct. And, you're 100% right on that. But at the same time, I think Baker needed a refresh. You feel me? Like, that, at the end of it, that relationship kind of ran its course.
After coming out of giving y'all your first playoff win in,
but the year after that, Baker had a horrible year.
He got hurt.
And it was, but like, at the same time, it's like Jared Goff and the Lions. You feel me? Like, you're not going to say Sean McVay is a horrible coach because, like, Jared Goff.
Oh, no, I mean, obviously not, but you can also look at it bigger picture or smaller picture. Looking at it smaller picture, they got a ring out of it. But looking at it big picture, McVay put all his chips in the middle of the table. McVay, ownership, general manager, whoever it was, put all their chips in the middle of the table and said, give me one ring, please. Got their ring. Now they're in, I don't know if they're in cap hell, but they were paying Von Miller a lot of money. Jalen Ramsey, a lot of money. They were paying Marcus Peters at one point, a lot of money. Aaron Donald, a lot of money. Cooper Kupp got a bag after the Triple Crown season. Odell Beckham, a lot of money. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you could keep adding it up and up and up. But my whole point being is, look at the situation they're in now. That's where the Browns are headed in a little bit.
I just feel like the main difference, like I said earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
When that whole situation, Cooper, what's it called, with the Rams, McVay and ownership are all aligned. You feel me?
Yeah.
When it comes to that, I think it's like the Cowboys, where you have, like, Mike McCarthy wanting to do something, but you got to run it by Jerry Jones, which is never the way. You want an owner who's like, look at y'all Giants. How he always wants to do something, he doesn't have to run it by ownership.
He does it.
Sirianni and him discussing, they do what's best for the team. That's not what's happening in Cleveland. They say that was the issue with Houston, bro. What?
Mm-hmm.
They were going through that same thing, bro. Not ownership, but general manager was acting like owner. You know what I mean? And was limiting coaches. So that's my thing. Like, I really believe that that's just how it is. It's ownership. Jimmy Haslam kind of probably telling Stefanski, you can't bench Deshaun. And that kind of led to that happening. But, I mean, yeah, Jameis should be starting. I think the Browns with Jameis will be viable. I think in my opinion, I really believe that when they play the Bengals again, they will beat them with Jameis.
We'll see. I think the Bengals will catch up in a little bit, but on the Bengals side, I'm not gonna lie, winning by only one score, but like, you should have beat them by more. I don't know if that's a defensive thing. I don't know if that's. I think one of their corners tore his ACL though. If I'm remembering correctly, I can't remember his name. I think he came over Jordan Lewis. I think did Jordan Lewis? I'll actually have to look this up. Jordan. Can't spell Jordan Lewis. Oh no, he's still with the Cowboys. Never mind. Maybe it was Awuzie, but one of them tore their ACL. I'm not gonna lie. But even then, like y'all gotta kind of lock in, like please. Like people want you to win that division, but it's not gonna happen because the Ravens Steelers are probably way too high up. Can you make a wild card spot? You could, but you gotta win more convincingly to convince me and you of that.
Yeah.
Next game was the Panthers Commanders, but my only takeaway is that Jaden apparently is okay. And we talked a little bit about standings, but as long as Jaden's okay, they'll be competitive. Again, I don't think they're going to win the division. I think they might be able to squeak out a wild card spot. Again, I feel like this year, if you don't win your division, you're probably not making playoffs, unless you're like you haven't lost outside of that. But yeah,
People want to know, is Jaden Daniels some quarterback because Mariota put up all the points on him?
That's kind of what I was telling you about is that Kingsbury system, but
Those besides this 7 points with defense touchdown, the first touchdown with defense touchdown, right?
Yeah.
The first 7 points. So the 35, well, not 35, but
33.
the rest of the 33 points, right?
Mm.
Like that was Mariota. So
I mean, let's see this. So Mariota had 205,
18 for 23, 205, 2 bad touchdown.
Robinson had a touchdown. If you want me to be honest with you, I don't. Again, 18 for 23, 205, 2 touchdowns is like an Alex Smith stat line from 2013. He was very game manager-esque. Not saying that Jaden Daniels has like way better stats than this, but Mariota did exactly what a backup quarterback is supposed to do. Come in and run the offense, not to the degree of Jaden Daniels. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Jaden Daniels played. They probably would have put up the same score line. He probably would have came out, and Mariota probably would have gone in at some point, anyways. It's the Panthers, so I'm not ready to say anything crazy like, oh, maybe Mariota is Cliff Kingsbury or is Jaden any good or whatever, until I see Mariota do this again. But again, Jaden Daniels playing this week. He's fine, so you probably won't have to see it again. Good question though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Next game, Rams Raiders. Don't have much to say. Good win for the Rams, but both teams are a mess anyways. Chiefs 49ers. I don't have much to say about. I'm gonna just say all of them, and then I'm gonna let you touch with the same thing. Chiefs 49ers. Chiefs won by 10. I saw Carson Wentz on the field for a play or two, but biggest takeaway is just injuries from this game. I think the 49ers might be out of luck for the rest of the season. I think that who's in the division? Seahawks. I think the Seahawks might run away with this one. I'm not gonna lie, unless either they get Debo back from whatever he's doing right now. Pearsall, they drafted in the first round. Maybe he does a little bit of something. Juwan Jennings gets that magic.
And Ricky, we trust my boy.
Yeah, Ricky, man, Ricky. Yeah, if anyone didn't know, he got shot, but and he's back. He's okay. Jets Steelers. Biggest takeaway is they might be cooked, but they might not be cooked. And vintage Russ, 2 touchdowns, two in the air, 2 on the ground.
Hey man, there's Sussy for Russie in Pittsburgh, my boy. Crazy times, huh?
Yeah, but anything for those 3 games right there? I don't think.
Again, when it comes to the Rams right now are they won great. They won by 5. They're a depleted team. Hopefully, they get healthy. I hope they don't turn into a fire sale and sell everybody.
Yeah,
I really don't, because I think McVay is a coach that's good core there. So hopefully not. Aiden O'Connell getting hurt sucked. I feel like I think he can be a good quarterback. I just think he's in the wrong system. You know what I mean? That system. Antonio Pierce is in a rough situation as well. I'm not giving up on him yet. I think those two I'm not going to give up on. Gardner Minshew coming in. I mean, I think Gardner Minshew is great. Granted, he was great last year with Indianapolis, and he's in a rough situation again. So that. Just both teams are not fun to watch at the moment. But maybe the Rams come back and maybe we can see the firestorm off of them. Chiefs and San Francisco, man. San Francisco's got a cheap number, man. Chiefs always just sun the Niners. It's rough because anybody hates Chiefs, to be honest here. maybe I just want to, like they shouldn't be 6-0.
They
Like,
shouldn't.
let's be
They
honest.
won't
I
finish
mean,
this. They
I'm
won't finish the year undefeated. I'll say that.
no, they won't. But my thing is, it's just so annoying. Like I can tell you, they still lost to Baltimore. You feel me? That little bit of a toe rough, right? They should have lost to Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
because there was a pass interference end zone call picked up was not called. See some of these calls, man. They should have lost to Cincinnati, but that call. It's just a lot of unfortunate things happening
Yeah.
when you play the Chiefs. It's like you're playing the Chiefs and the refs. I work for the NFL, so you can't find me, Roger. But anyway, but when it comes to Pittsburgh and New York, that was a fun game, man. Like seeing Pittsburgh good is fun for the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When Pittsburgh football is good, NFL is good. Like it's definitely fun. Like Pittsburgh's a storied franchise, so much history, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've only had I don't know what, 2 or 3 coaches since the move landing.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel me? Like since I when I was growing up, it was Bill Cowher,
Yeah.
and then it was Mike Tomlin. It's all I've noticed. It's fun. Like Russ looking good. I do think, unfortunately, because Russ had such a good showing, Fields back on the bench for a long while, unless Russ barring an injury or or a bad game from Russ. But yeah, the Jets have a lot to figure out. That defense was so good last year,
Yeah.
and for them to be so bad against the run, it's so bad. So bad against the pass, it's so bad. Aaron Rodgers is very unpredictable, making bad reads at some points. Even Garrett wasn't a good game. I mean, one of the picks that
Drop
he
pass.
threw, no, one of the picks that Aaron Rodgers threw, like it literally, the DB took it out of Garrett Wilson's hands. Like it's
Yep.
rough, you know what I mean? So that's rough. They have a lot of soul searching, a lot of figuring out to do.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the Jets. Who knows? I saw a video that said everything about Aaron Rodgers was in a darkness retreat and thought that he wanted to destroy the vaccine of COVID-19 and decided to go for the Jets because Wade Johnson is a founder of Johnson Johnson, part of, and is a COVID vaccine maker.
You're hilarious.
Valid questions that need to be asked because he has played bad.
Yeah.
Devontae, surprisingly, doesn't solve all your problems. So the Jets are going through it, man.
Hopefully they pick it
Rough
up.
times in New York, man.
Hopefully
The
they pick
Mets
it up.
losing and yeah, the Mets losing to the Dodgers and then the Jets sucking. You guys suck, man. Sorry.
And the last game we got for y'all today, and really the only thing I want to talk about, Neb's Ravens won, but I've been seeing Todd. Me and Nev kind of argued about this. We've been seeing a lot of hate go to Todd Bowles over Chris Godwin being in that play. As far Baker Mayfield's still in the game too, right? I think
Yep.
Baker was in. Mike was already out at that point, but Sterling Shepard was in the game. Kate Otton was in the
Yep.
game.
Mhm.
My whole point was he's a grown man. And if they didn't think that they had, I mean, obviously they needed a touchdown, onside kick, another touchdown to win the game. Cool, I get it. Or like a field goal. I think it would have took the game to overtime. But
Yeah.
I understand that the odds were steep, but at a certain point, like I'm sure that they had conversation, and Todd Bowles came out and said, "Yo, like at the end of the day." And actually, no, Kate Otton said it. He's like, we all decided to stay in the game because we all wanted a chance to even see if we could win this. There have been just as risky, or I would say like lucky situations. I mean, we've seen Aaron Rodgers throw 5 Hail Marys at this point. Nothing's impossible in the NFL. And like my whole point being is I wouldn't paint that as a Todd Bowles like mismanagement of his situation and players. Do I think that if it was me, I would have pulled the players out? Sure, yeah, we're down 10 points. Like, it's 40 seconds left. Like, it's fine. Let's not risk
No
anything.
timeout.
Yeah, no timeouts. Let's not risk anything. Maybe a different situation. Like, let's say we have all timeouts, good field position. We got an onside kickback. Cool. Like, I'm doing it. But again, whole point being is they thought that they had a chance and they went for it. And like I said, I'm sure that they had a conversation and Todd Bowles might have offered, hey, do you guys want to stay in? Do we want to keep doing this? Just like any other head coach would. And they all said yes. So again, like that's why you see like Earl Thomas when he got hurt, he flicked off Pete Carroll. This time when Godwin got hurt, he looked towards everyone on the sideline and said, "Get back, like time to get back to work." So that's kind of showing me, okay, like if he was mad at Bowles or if it was Bowles' fault, he would have shown that. But it seemed like he knew he took his own responsibility for that play and said, you know what, I decided to be on the field. I'm not gonna be mad at Bowles. You know what I'm trying to say? So again, I'm gonna leave it on that for me.
Fair. I mean, it's a good point, but at the same time, it's just like it's just so unrealistic. You know what I mean? There isn't a 10-point touchdown. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you're 40 seconds left, and I think when injury happened, they were on their own side of the field. That is a lot to ask for your team in 40 seconds to drive all the way down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Score, get the onside. Granted, I mean, they already recovered the onside kick that game.
Mm-hmm.
They were, but score, another onside kick, field goal, tie the game, overtime. That is a lot to ask. And granted, I know the score was only by 10 points, right? This game was not as close as not as close as it was showing because I think they scored to touch on the garbage time.
Yeah.
So like it was not like literally when they had an onside kick recovered, scored, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they onside it again. Zay Flowers recovered, and then the Ravens put all their backups in. And then literally like they had Josh Johnson, the man has been on 45 teams, but they literally ran it up the gut with Justice Hill a couple times, not even Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like I understand, like at the end of the day, it's football. You win every game, but it's just like situational matters, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to win that game. Like there is no 10-point touchdown.
Yeah.
If there was, you try to win, that's different. But at the same time, like, what are the odds that you already recovered an onside kick that game? Let's say you did score. Were you gonna get it again?
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't know. Like, I think it's something that could have been avoided, especially with Mike Evans already going down
Yeah.
early in the game. That's a lot to ask. And you lose, and then now you're losing Chris Godwin. Your only reliable receiver, or like
Kate
receivers at the most reps, is Sterling Shepard, and then take it up.
Oh well, him. Yeah.
Sherry Shepard has the second most
They got
snaps
McMillan.
in the
McMillan's not
slot.
terrible. I think he's a rookie or second year, but he's not terrible.
He's second year, but like my thing is he's not bad, you're right? But it's just like you have him, and you also have Sterling Shepard, who has second most snaps in the slot. That's about it. I don't know. That was all avoidable.
I think
But other than
it was
that,
interesting. I'll say that. Like, I don't think it should befall of criticism, but I think that calling for his job, I think maybe me and you have talked about that, but I don't think it was like a stupid, like, bro, what are you doing, dumb decision. I think it was like, it was a game time decision. Like, he made a call in the moment, it didn't work. Like, I don't we talk about like these decisions, like with Sirianni in the fourth down. If Godwin didn't get hurt, no one's saying anything. Well, why is Godwin in the game? No one's saying anything. But it's because Godwin got hurt. It's because Evans got hurt in I think the second quarter. But my whole point being is it's because he got hurt that people are saying something. If he didn't get hurt, no one like, yeah, why not try? But again, because he did get hurt, people are like, what's going on, etc. A B C D. But again, it's a shame that, or it's very unfortunate that he did get hurt. But I just want to use that as like a, guys, let's not attack this man for this.
no, I mean, but I think like even if the Bucks haven't, the Bucks been decent, but I mean, this was something that's very glaring. Again, could have been avoidable. I mean, he's going to have conversations with the GM and ownership about that, though. They're going to ask him, "Why would you do that?"
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I know you said, Kate Otten said he wanted to go back out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They decided to. That's not going to fly with ownership.
Yeah,
they're going to give that coach to say no. Yeah. It's going to be rough because I mean that was a valuable piece. He was having a great year of his career, one of the best years of his career.
No,
for his injury.
Contract year.
Contract year as well. That's rough.
Yeah.
But other than that, the Ravens are probably right now, in my opinion, one of the best teams in football. If they play the Chiefs right now, they would win, in my opinion.
Go Flock. Go Flock.
No, literally, Lamar right now, MVP in my opinion. Right now, I think he is the MVP. Having 5 touchdowns against a good Bucks team is crazy.
Well, that defense has been Swiss cheese, though.
I mean, they've been okay. I'll say they've been okay. But at the same time, again, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns on any NFL franchise is crazy.
Oh, no, you're right, yeah.
And this is like, what, his 3rd or 4th 5 touchdown game?
Oh, yeah, I think 2nd this year, right? He already had 5 this year. I mean, he had last year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, that's impressive. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
He is Lamar. And one thing that's cool is, I'm a big fan of Lamar, and like seeing him progress every year is so great.
Yeah.
I think right now, between them today, he'd win the MVP. Granted, I think in my opinion, he's a clear-cut winner, but he's not by far, if I have to say that.
He's not. I
think he has Jared Goff on his tail.
Yeah.
I think he's a very similar Jared.
I think Darnold before, like, I think before last week, Darnold had a pretty strong grip on it. Pause, in my opinion.
For sure. I even think Josh Allen. I think like between them 3.
And Mahomes always got to be in the conversation too. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in.
Yeah, but I really believe if they played the Chiefs like this Sunday,
They have a chance of winning. Yeah.
I think they would win. I think it just took some time because the O line week one had a lot of getting used to.
Yeah.
Used to Rosengard, the guard, is playing like an amazing. Lele sent down the guard as well, playing amazing. Linderbaum, I mean, I'm in a snatcher issue, but he's killing it.
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley, I mean, he's killing it. The defense coming to life. Marlon Humphrey left the game with a knee injury, but hopefully he's all right. I think he's week to week, but
Yeah.
he had two picks in the same quarter.
Yeah.
Roquan is coming with, Roquan's laying down the wood, pause. But yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, the defense coming in. Kyle Hamilton is a freaking nature.
Yeah.
I love the way he plays football, and it's exciting. It's exciting. That's all I got to say about that.
Hey, man. Hopefully they continue that the rest of the season. Come
Also,
back.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry.
Oh,
30 years old.
I can see him getting Offensive Player of the Year.
30 years old, still hitting, 27, 28 miles an hour?
Relax.
87-yard run?
Relax. It was 22.
No, it was not 22.
I'm not doing the math right now. We'll figure it out and we'll give it to you guys in the next episode. But catch us. Hopefully I have this out to you guys by like Friday or maybe Thursday. Hopefully we get another. Usually we're not gonna ever get to the Thursday night game, but we'll have week 8 slates for you guys by Friday or Saturday. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. We're about it, just hit about an hour. If you watch to the end, comment who your favorite team is and if you think they're gonna win their week 8 slate, and then we'll look at some of the comments.
We'll tell you why they're bad. Tell us your team, we'll tell you why they're bad.
If you say Panthers, you're screwed. But it's me, Tom.
I don't like it on anything if you say Panthers. Sorry about that.
Don't be like Steph Curry.
Go Panthers.
Go Panthers. But all right, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me, Neb, on Instagram. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? We're out.
Pikachu diamonds, they yellow. Indian plug, you my fellow. Indian plug, you my Toto. Yeah.